All right, I'm upstairs in my barn right now, and this used to be a hayloft. This is where we dry our garlic. I've had this table that I made for a little while. Last year, we followed some advice we saw from Cornell University on growing organic garlic in our zone, and it kind of backfired. You can research that yourself. The method is in early August, you plant your garlic beds to oats and peas, and then come late October, you plant your garlic right into that living mulch. So it's cover cropping, and you plant right into it. I could maybe find some pictures to include in this of that. The oats and peas were up to my knees, and then the theory is that the cold usually kills peas. Well, we didn't have a cold. Peas and oats, they get killed by cold temperatures, 19 degrees, for several days. So 2 winters ago, we did that, planted all our garlic into it, and the cold knocked the peas and oats down. And then in the spring, they came back and grew like crazy, and I had just an awful mess. And all my garlic was super small. Like, I couldn't even use this rack to dry it. So smaller than that. So last summer, we had another farmer at the farmer's market who was going to sell us seed garlic. And she told us she was going to bring it next week, next week, next week. And then she never brought it. So we were in a situation where it was too late to order anything online, pretty much. And we ended up planting back garlic from garlic around that size, tiny. We sold off all the biggest stuff that we had, which wasn't very big either. And we were just kind of like, well, we are completely screwed with garlic. So I went ahead and said, well, we need garlic for ourselves. We'll just plant a lot. We haven't harvested it all yet, but the beds that they were in, we had meat chickens up into that, and it was getting muddy and rainy. So I parked meat chickens on it, and I couldn't move them because of the mud everywhere. So what I did is I sifted wood chips, put the sifted wood chips down with the meat chickens to keep them drying up out of the mud. And then that became our garlic beds. And we planted subpar seed garlic. Like, the whole time I was putting it in the ground, I just kept repeating to myself, this is a waste of time. This is a waste of time. We're planting heads of garlic that size, not even an inch across a whole bulb, and we're planting cloves of it. So, but at least we would have garlic for ourselves, and we overplanted. Well, that garlic in the sifted wood chip and chicken manure, not all of it sized up, but this is the biggest garlic I've ever grown. That's my hand, and I don't have a small hand. It is huge. Absolutely monster. This garlic, the seed we got it from, I bought from a farm stand in Ogdensburg, New York. They have been growing it for, the girl there told me her great great grandmother had been growing it, and they've grown it ever since. I believe it's German white, but I'm not 100% on that. Um, and normally we've had bulbs years before around that size, which is still, that's, fairly large long neck garlic for our region. The stuff we have now is absolutely monster. So And it can't be from being adapted to our system because our system changed. Originally, we grew garlic in no-till composted beds that was composted chicken manure and wood chips and straw and vegetable scraps, and we got normal garlic around that. But last year, when we planted, so normal garlic on a normal year, but then we did the screw up of putting it all in green and planting into green cover crop, and we ended up with very small, terrible, not sized up garlic. So it it can't be that the garlic was really adapted to our system because our system changed. The only thing that we can attribute this to is massive amounts of pretty much fresh chicken manure. We harvested the chickens in October and the garlic went in just a few weeks later. So anyone tells you that you can't plant garlic into fresh chicken manure, it'll burn it, they're not telling you the truth, because that that was our experience. I am totally amazed. That is huge. It's almost like the size of elephant garlic, but it's German white, I believe, garlic. So we will definitely be putting chicken manure down on our garlic again when I get it all harvested out. I'll make a video on how much of it's that big. That was just the stuff on the very edges that was definitely looking like it needed to be ready to be harvested, and I was curious. The stalks were huge, and I just had to know, so I pulled a row. But there you go. The code to monster garlic is chicken poop. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up.